When I get stressed, I like to drink beer at the end of the day to soothe my emotional wounds, and it's a particularly stressful time because I'm trying to purchase a car. I know I have a beer and I'm talking about cars. And I know that cars and beer don't go together very well, but needless to say, it's a little difficult, You go to every single dealer and they're all pieces of shit, shifty or lying, and because we don't want to buy like a really fancy car, we want to buy like a regular car that's like used a little, and they're all gonna be dog shit. But one positive thing that came out of looking for a car is that I stumbled upon this microbrewery. So it's a really cool looking little microbrew. They have like a shop with a lot of beers in it. It's called MaBrasserie, which I think it means my bar in French. So the story behind me getting this beer, I was waiting to test drive a Subaru Impreza. Really cool little shitty car, and the dealer was like an hour late, and I was waiting in the rain, and I was just getting wetter and wetter and wetter, and I thought, who cares, I'm just gonna get wet. So I was walking around for an hour, and I found this microbrewery place, and I was like, oh cool, after I test drive this car, I'm gonna go grab some beer. So I test drove the car. The guy was like pushy asshole, and the whole time I was thinking, man, like fuck this, I'm just gonna go grab a goddamn beer. So I walked to the place, buy their beer, came in a pack of 4, and it was maybe like about like an hour and 10-minute walk to my house. So I just opened up a couple of beers and I decided to walk home. And and I got a really good buzz, and the beer was fucking delicious. I thought maybe I'd drink some with you, and maybe hopefully you guys can go grab some of this beer sometime because it's really good. So let's pop it open. Good old-fashioned beer. I like the cover too. It's just like simple. It's just like a printed label. Like this is what I feel like a communist beer would look like, just like printed what it is. This is the beer. You drink beer, get you drunk. No funny business. Orange with nice black font gets you drunk quick. So I live in Montreal, and it's like fucking a frozen shithole half of the year. It's just freezing cold. That day it was rainy, but it was warm out, so I was able to like walk the whole way, and I forgot how much I love walking just anywhere with like beer. I was like walking on this really cool like bike path that like cuts through the city, and like you think it's scary to drink in public, but the way it sounds like shitty. It's drinking beer, it sounds like I'm doing something illegal. It's not illegal. It's like a fun activity. It's like you're walking around, you're enjoying nature, and you're having a beer. If you're able to do this without like causing any trouble, like you're basically an adult. Like, is it so much to like ask the world to treat you like an adult and like have a beer in public? Like they treat us like children. Like no, you need to be in a specific spot as you drink this. I'm sorry. Like there's no difference between me and my house and me walking around with this, especially now with like the whole pandemic. Like bars are closed, so let's go outside. I don't know what the fuck. Like, so you can't tell. Where do you want us to drink this? Like, we're not allowed to see our friends. We're not allowed to go to a bar. We're not allowed to do it outside. What do I just drink it alone? Hey, it's what I'm doing now, and it's what I did earlier. But I don't know. There's something fucking amazing about like walking in the rain, drinking a beer, and like just getting completely wet. Like you're just completely soaked. Everyone looking at you like you look like a psycho. I think it's romantic. There's literally nothing like end of the night, nothing to do, drink a beer, get a buzz, and chill the fuck out. The only thing you need to do after that is go to bed. And then going to bed, it's like the best, because you don't need to think about anything at all. You just get to like fucking not exist anymore. And then you wake up and you're like, shit. But no, I shouldn't say shit, because it's a great time, whatever I'm doing in my life, but literally nothing beats like this moment right here, right now. That is what represents this beer right here. Hey, by the way, if you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. I got a lot of more things to do here. But yeah, no, this beer is like really delicious. When you drink a beer and you're like, this is good, but you're like, you're lying that it tastes good. You're like, this is really good. It's just like overwhelmingly like whatever the flavor is they shoved in the beer. This still tastes like a beer, but also has a little bit of a little dick of whatever the flavor is. Slightly sweet. It's called Munich Hells. I like it, man. I fucking like it. No one prepares you for how annoying and awful it is to find a car. Like, we go to this one dealership and we find this really cool like Volkswagen Passat. It's big old hatchback. We're like, god damn, this fucking car is amazing. We're driving it and we're like, okay, we're gonna buy this fucking car right now. We just need to get it inspected. We go to this this mechanic like down the road from the dealership, and we go and we're like, hey, we can get a car inspected. He's like, yeah, come bring your car right now. It's like, where's this dealership? I'm like, oh, it's down the road. And the mechanic was like, is it from those Chinese guys? I was like, yeah. Why are you saying is it from those Chinese guys? He's like, I know those Chinese guys. And I'm like, okay, good to know that you know those Chinese guys. Like, you just want to let me know that he knows those Chinese guys. And I was thinking like, oh, maybe he was trying to hint that they sell like fucked up cars. But then I was like, why, do they sell bad cars? And he's like, no, they sell pretty good cars. And I was like thinking like, why the fuck is he? What? So I get the car, we go get inspected. Everything is fucking perfect other than one little fucking oil leak from the front of the car. And we're like, Jesus Christ, there's a fucking oil leak. And because I don't know anything about cars. Like, everything I know about cars is like what people fucking tell me to know about cars. Like, I'm like, oh, is an oil leak bad? He's like, well, it could be anything. It could be the oil from the engine, and then there's fine, and it could be oil from this or that. And I'm like, how much oil is in this fucking car? So it all fucks up. We go to the dealership. We say like, listen, there's a problem with the car. We won't buy the car unless you repair it. And in my head, I'm thinking like, this is gonna cost like $1,000. Like, we're fucked. Like, we're dead. Like. But then I go home. My brother said like, oh yeah, like we could see what the problem is. It only would cost $20 to see what the problem is. And I'm like, why the fuck didn't any? Because then we could have decided if we wanted to. What if the problem was like $100 to fix? I would have fixed that. It was slow down, Gabriel. Drink the beer. This is what drinking is, though. You're just basically like hanging out with a guy that complains all the time. It's basically like you're drinking with me, If you don't have anything interesting to do on a Friday, just drink with me. I love drinking, man. This is the weirdest podcast. Like, I feel like the people that, like, if I send this video to the people that like have this microbrew, they're gonna look at me and be like, we don't want this guy fucking repping our beer. Listen, it's good for you, kid. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not exactly sure what the hell it is. I can almost see myself being like some sort of like beer rep guy, like Mr. Beer. Well, everybody, thank you for watching this video. If you got this far, please consider subscribing to the channel. You must be a fan. And thank you so much, and see you another day.